Welcome back, everybody. We have another and our last Rally Cry halftime show of the day. Yeah, ever. We're never going to do this again.
I didn't
Sorry,
get that
Rally
memo.
Cry. I mean, maybe if you were here sooner, Kangas, you would know that, wouldn't you?
Hey, I made it in time for the camera. I personally, I think that was uncalled for.
Oh, well.
I had like 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah, because that is the pinnacle of punctuality right there.
This wasn't late.
Technically, yes.
Anyways,
I was
Kangas, because you and Josh so graciously pushed Twitch chat to go for the polls that we were running in chat, we get to play a new game I have created. It's called Are You Smarter Than Twitch Chat?
No.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Because these are
yourself.
some answers you might struggle with. You two specifically, which is why I devised
What does
it.
that mean?
Exactly like, oh, you'll see. Don't worry about that, Kangas.
I am very worried about that, honestly.
Yeah, I think you
I
should
love
be.
asking Josh trivia questions about like teams and player histories because that's like his biggest weakness. But
I'm
it's also
really
my
bad at it.
weakness. It's
Yeah.
gonna be bad.
Well, okay, so question number 1. Which one of these two teams did Philip previously play on? There's University, or UCI, and there's Lucky Esports. Which one is it?
I'm very confident in my answer here.
All
Let's
right.
Steve start.
No, you guys, this is a team thing, by the way.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
team
thank
thing.
Yeah,
goodness.
it's you versus chat.
Oh, let's go. Okay, I have no idea, Josh. What do you think?
I am very confident it is not UCI.
Okay, you know what? Because it's hilarious, and because you always have to catch him when he does this, he never said we couldn't cheat and look up on Leaguepedia.
I mean,
So-
yes, you can. No, you can't, I should say. That's
No,
cheating.
we can't.
No, you
Well,
cannot.
who's gonna stop me? Because I'm currently clicking.
I mean, honor, I would
I'm
figure
going
would
on
stop you,
Phillip.
but, you know, we've learned a
I'm gonna
lot
go with
about
Lucky.
you today.
All right,
feeling
well,
lucky?
I know
Way too
the
much
answer, but
Steve.
I'm not gonna tell Joshi because that would be cheating, I guess.
Well, you guys are a team. What? Whatever.
team.
Josh, you're right. It is Lucky Esports. Chat actually got this one wrong. They fell for the
Let's go.
CLOL bait, which I thought was really funny. And that actually reminds me.
He did play for a college, though, right? But it was
He
not.
didn't. It was University of... God, what was it? We'll check it out later. The point is, I just wanted to show this Twitch comment where someone voted with the horde.
Smosism.
and- Yeah, sorry,
They put an
Smosism.
emote afterwards. I can't see the end. Oh, it's just a thumbs up.
It's just a thumbs up.
Yeah, understandable, though. Understandable, though,
So,
right?
casters, you guys are winning so far. I'm so proud of you guys.
Let's
I didn't think you'd
go.
get this far.
UCI
first
is one of the
question-
few collegiate teams that I actually know a fair amount about their history.
I
because
should have
worked
put
with
a
them.
I should have put a school that was not on the West
If you
Coast.
put
That's my
any
bad.
other UC, I would have had to guess.
I believe it. No, I do. That's okay. I gotta play the player next time. Anyways,
you go.
question 2. What LCS team did Soul briefly play on last summer?
TSM.
There you go. That was an easy one. Chat also answered this, so both chat and the casters get a point.
All right, all
I'm
right.
giving myself the correct pings, by the way, if anyone's wondering. That's,
Okay,
that's
okay.
what I
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
like.
All right, King.
Proud of you, proud of you.
I need
Yeah,
a dopamine hit.
you're doing great, son.
It's kind of like the
Nice.
same dopamine hit.
Okay,
It's
that's a
good.
different dopamine hit. Anyways, question number 3. What was Perry's ID when he first joined Wildcard in 2021? Was it Shuka? Or was it Ghostly Cat?
G-Shuka
Wait,
or
when was this?
Ghostly Cat?
Yeah, one of those two used to be his ID when
Wait,
he joined Wildcard.
when was this?
2021.
In 2021.
I'm pretty sure it's Ghostly Cat because I remember talking to him about like different versions of his name over the years, and I'm pretty sure one of them was a cat.
It's gonna be 50-50, so sure, I'll commit with
Yeah,
Josh.
I think it's Ghostly Cat.
That is correct.
Let's go!
Wow, I did not think you'd get that one.
Nice.
Ghostly Cat was Perry's solo queue and actually competitive ID when he first started, well, playing competitive.
Yeah.
The
I
Kane
keep
one
saying you
trick
expect
was a
us
pretty
to
good
get
time.
these. They're 50-50. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
was-
mean, it just shows the
But
opinion
it's a
I
poll.
have of you,
It's a poll,
Kangas.
right? The other thing that I think is important is I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Perry said that it was named after one of 2 of his cats.
Oh.
Oh, was this so? His cat was named Ghostly.
I don't know if it was named Ghostly, but it was inspired off of his cat.
Oh,
A
that's
ghost? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a good
So
cat
I
name.
will say we also
see
need
it.
to give chat a point because they also answered this one correctly.
Okay, okay.
Ah,
Well,
Yeah, but you guys are still ahead.
still get wrecked, Twitch
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, yeah, true. Okay, so the next one. Shaden, player we talk about a lot. What
Yep.
org did he get traded for, or traded with, excuse me, before he came to Evil Geniuses?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Cloud9.
Oh, Josh, I just realized you made the I can fix it meme. I should not have asked you
Yeah.
that. Oh, no.
We were both covering the league that summer. Although that's not 100% for me. I have definitely gotten ones wrong.
Fair enough. But Josh is carrying you right now, so it's
a very
fine.
famous trade between the two teams, right? Because Cloud9 had Shaden and Tomio was on Evil Geniuses.
There you go.
And they swapped, and it remarkably made both teams better.
Yeah. That was something we talked about a lot, how it was one of the few trades where like, yeah, this is great for me. Oh, this is also great for me, and everybody walked away happy.
Well
right
done.
now,
Great trade deal.
yeah, and yeah, exactly, is an actual good trade proposition. Anyways, next question. Chat also got this one right, so you guys are still leading by 1.
That's
So-
not much. I don't feel comfortable with that lead.
Well, we'll see. Next question is going to be Sol, Shaden, and Ryoma all went through the same org. Which was it? This one has 3 potential answers because, of course, the 3 big
sure I know the
pillars
answer.
of amateur are going to be Wildcard, AoE, or Supernova.
Oh.
Yeah, which one did they all go through?
Who did Anime Girl play on? Because that's what Soul would have been an Anime Girl at that time. It was Ginger. No, it wasn't Ginger Turmeric. Was it
No.
Ginger Turmeric? It might have been AoE.
I thought it was Wildcard.
Oh,
Because I knew the answer was
no.
going to be Evil Geniuses, but I was like, wait a sec.
Oh no.
Okay.
Do I cheat again? I'm just gonna cheat. I'm just gonna look
AoE,
and not
Wildcard, or
answer.
Supernova. It's definitely not Supernova, so we can take that one off.
Yeah, I don't think it's Supernova. Before I cheat, I think it's gonna be AoE. But if you think
Really?
it's Wildcard, that's
I am
rough.
really terrible at these. I don't remember AoE ever having Ryoma on it, and I do feel as though we got it from Wildcard.
We
Wildcard
did have
Anime
Ryoma
Girl?
on Wildcard. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in Wildcard. That's gonna be my answer.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Josh.
Dang
That is
it.
incorrect. The answer is AoE because remember,
No.
for a short amount of time, Ryoma played for AoE Jake's Kittens.
Oh, that's right.
Before they had to stop playing in PGC
I forgot.
Summer.
Come on.
I forgot that Jake's Kittens did become one of the many
right, they
AoE
did.
teams.
Yep, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they had like 4 rosters at one
And they're-
point.
Yeah.
Then
No, they had
They all had
several
like different.
rosters.
They had different like sub tags, and were they all actually official AoE rosters? or
Yeah, they
just-
all were, exactly.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
when in doubt, just say AoE. Like they
Yeah,
literally have
honestly.
probably over half the league currently that had played on one of their teams at one point.
All right.
so
fair enough.
unfortunately for you guys, Chad answered this correctly.
No.
So we have tied this one up.
Why didn't you trust me, Josh?
I think you're doing so well so far today. If the answer was Evil Geniuses, I would have gotten it right.
Well, they're currently on it though. That doesn't make sense. All right.
Oh,
sure.
hold on.
Holding.
XT said that Jake's Kittens was not an AoE org.
What? When I looked it
Uh-oh.
up, it was.
Uh-oh.
I got trolled by
Wait a minute, I'm clicking
Go to
on
LOL
Ryoma,
fandom,
I'm
go to
scrolling
LOL
down
fandom.
Jake's Kittens, I click on Jake's Kittens. I don't see any AoE on here. XT was the manager.
Damn.
He would know.
Damn. All right.
XT saving us. Let's go.
XT is saving you. All right, we're gonna strike that question. Casters
Which
still
chat
lead
got
by
it
1.
wrong then? Because if they vote...
No, it doesn't work like that.
Can we give XT 1 point?
Yeah, we're gonna
what's
add
that?
XT to the
Cynthia, can we add a
scoreboard.
third category down here? Say like casters 3 or 4, Twitch chat 3, XT 1.
We'll find out.
All right.
but
Anyways,
still.
we are running out of time. Unfortunately, we are ready to go for the next game. But if the scoreboard is correct, Casters, you won. You are indeed smarter than Twitch chat. Congratulations.
Praise the sun.
I want you to enjoy that dopamine as you take us away to our final game of the day. Have fun.
Thank you, Beatdown. And for one last time, I will enjoy this dopamine. Oh yeah, we did it, Josh. Let's go.
For one time on
I
broadcast,
don't think
will
I
enjoy
contributed
this
anything,
dopamine.
actually.
You did not convince me of the right answer during one of them. Well,
Well,
semi-right
the wrong
answer.
right answer,
The
but
wrong
yes.
right answer.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this dopamine real quick. It's been a long day.
Was that seaweed? Wait, what did you just put in your mouth?
Seaweed.
That was seaweed.
Yep.
That's dopamine for you? Proud of you.
Dude, I love seaweed. It is so tasty and so nutritious, probably.
Good life choices. Let's catch you up on Pickman. Fear, again, playing underdog, upset,
Yeah.
as has been the theme of the day. Every team in Game 1 that's been like lower in the standings, lower in their win percentage, has picked up their wins. Now, can we finally get the 2-0? Because in every series so far today, on our stream at least, we've had the pendulum swing back and then
True.
dominating performances in Game 2. So is this EG's time to dominate, or will Fear buck the trend?
Yeah. Okay, well, we are getting word that we are going to be continuing with Are You Smarter Than Twitch chat.
Oh, we are. Wait,
okay.
what? How are we doing this?
So, Beatdown is going to be the voice in the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we put it into our production chat, we will answer and try to answer it as we also do the draft. But we are still noticing the same issue that we had with Cincinnati Fear in Game 1, in that they banned Milio and the Yuumi, and we were unimpressed with that.
Wow.
It says that they are not able to play it. Now, all right, here's the question. What Riot merch showed up in all of Shochi's interviews in the PG circuit last summer? Was it A, a Timo hat, or B, a Tibbers plushie? I don't know the answer.
I know he wore a Timo hat in at least a couple, but I don't think it was all of them. I don't remember if there's a Tibbers plushie in the background, though.
I mean, I'm going to defer to this one on you. You did way more interviews than I did.
Wait, last summer, though. Isn't that what it said? So it wouldn't have been last...
Yeah, PG circuit last summer.
Yeah. So I didn't do interviews with Shochi last summer. I'm just going
I'm down to go with the
Tibbers. I think Tibbers in the background is more likely.
All right, well, we will catch up with the next question in just a sec as we catch up in the draft. It is going to be a Vi pickup here for Perry, which has been one of the... I was right! It was the Timo hat! Steve, you're negatively contributing to this partnership. As Evil Geniuses, they grab Kings of Phalios, and the Grog is coming through, almost definitely going over to Seoul from there. But the next question, when was Minui's highest placement in a Tier 2 event? Was it A, 2023 Spring, or B, 2021 Summer? And I want to make sure that we define Tier 2 event as an Academy or Challengers League playoffs and or proving grounds, right?
So
is that the definition we're using?
Was the other one 2021 Summer? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, 2023 Spring, where they got top 4, or 2021 Summer.
Was he on Evil Genius's Prodigies back then?
I think even if he was, Evil Genius's Prodigies did not get a top 4 in Proving Grounds.
Oh, 2021 Summer, I believe they did. I think they, or maybe it was top 6. Maybe it was just top 6.
It was such a big deal when, what team was it? The AoE... No.
Ginger Turmeric?
Well, I mean, AGT did super, super well. And then what was the team that actually won? It was not Academy team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no org. It was no org.
No org. That's it. Yeah. When those teams won, I'm very confident it has to be in Spring because top 4 is really tough. And we'll see what production says about that one. But Steve, catch us up on the draft.
Okay. Well, this time I'll defer to you and you can be wrong. Nico's locked in for Fear. Let's go. We're caught up on that. Little Blanc was banned away. Nico plus the Cassante for Philip and Shochi. They're saving their bot lane for counter pick, and EGC will lock in the Syndra rather than support. They had both counter picks available, but they wanted to go for their mid laner instead. Let's see what Fear decides to ban out for other top laners, because Lucian, Rakan, and Viego are taken off the table to start things off. Fear have one more ban to lock in.
Okay, I prompting Beatdown because he didn't tell us if we were right. He put a panda clapping, but I don't know what that means for whether or not we were right or not. But as we go into it, like you said, we do have a couple of solo laners coming through. Spring is right. Okay, at least we aren't falling behind in Twitch chat from that one. But we got a couple picks left to go. We need to see what support Smoothie will be playing, and of course the bottom lane coming out from Fear. And according to Beatdown Boulevard, we are still tied with Twitch chat. Therefore, we are not smarter than Twitch chat. We are exactly as smart as Twitch chat, meaning we have this many IQ points.
Which means that Twitch chat could probably just do our job. Like, how about we just read Twitch chat during pick ban? I feel like that's probably...
Honestly, like, I could. Let's see. What have they said? Somebody's probably complained about the Yuumi.
No, we're actually doing this.
All right, hold on. This is, what's going on. Scrolling
I'm
all the way
hoping people have said, thank goodness we got the Nico locked in. We also have a Nocturne, which is pretty hype, so let's catch up quickly there.
Fear clears, I'm afraid, says Cincy Fear Matt. So, clearly very unbiased.
Unbiased, clearly, yes. Nocturne locked in here for Shaden. We have seen this already, this split, and it is an exciting pick for him to pilot. And also, I honestly think pairs kind of well with something like a Syndra, because you turn off the lights, you lock somebody down, Syndra blows them up. I can see it, but you have to be level 6 to pull it off.
Crazy. I hate it when I have to be level 6 to do things, but as we do come into this one, right, I really love pairing Nocturne with really big flank ultimates, really big flank some champions, especially like this Grog, is because you come in and you take a lot of control over the map, and they can't deal with anybody coming out of a bush because the wards have been turned off. And this is also the combination, Steve, where Evil Geniuses made Soul look the best, where Shaden went up multiple times up to the top lane to get kills on, I believe it was Concept at the time, and it really allowed Soul to take off and have a big impact on the rest of the game. Now, this time, it's going to be going up against Philip here in the top side, and they should be expecting a similar game plan coming out of Evil Geniuses.
We see Smoothie locking in the Braum, something that's been hovered multiple times, yet to be locked in, or at least yet to really turn into a popular pick. I believe it has been played, but it pairs really well into these melee supports to try and go in, keep Yuri to carry alive, keep him nice and safe. I also imagine it can work pretty well into a Nico who's got most of her damage kind of going in one direction. So if you can block a lot of that, you're really providing value for your team.
Yeah. Now, I'm unsure on the interaction with the Pop Blossom. I believe it just, not the Pop Blossom, the Q. I believe it just destroys it, but a lot of similar spells will hit it and then drop on the ground. I think it gets destroyed. But we'll double check on that as like the game actually goes, because there's a lot of weird ones, right? Like Oriana's ball will just stop at the spot. You can't just could you imagine you could just destroy command attack?
Well, entire champion's worthless now.
We'll get into this one. I actually think this is a pretty balanced draft, honestly, all things considered. The big wild card for me here is actually Shochi here on this Nico, which has, I believe, 100% win rate today.
It has yet to drop a game, but it has dropped its 100% presence, as it was not locked in last time around. All right, thanks for the rubbing it in, producers.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows our IQ on both of it, right?
5 and 5? That's a pretty low IQ, Josh.
It is.
All right, well, speak for yourself. I at least have a 6. EGC, Fear, let us know in chat who you're rooting for, who you think is going to take this one. 50-50 right now. And so far on this stream, I know that the other stream, not to spoil anything in case anybody planned to go back, so this is your one morning spoilers for Path LCS stream. It was not all ties over there.
True.
So we will not have the potential of an entire tie day, which would mean that we have to wear ties on broadcast tomorrow. My apologies for the tie enthusiasts. My apologies to Ryoma, who just walks in to the line brush and gets first blood gifted to Manui.
I think he was going to try to ward the Raptors.
I imagine.
But good read coming up from Fear. We have seen what happens in these kind of situations, and now it is Manui who is starting the game off with first blood. They will be hitting level 2 ever so slightly faster. They will be getting a lot of extra damage, and now we are going to be seeing what Cincinnati Fear can do with this lead, because we saw that when Evil Geniuses gets put behind, it's really tough for them to try and come back. And as we take a look at this, we will be noting that this time they will have, Steve, what's the opposite of a mirrored clear?
Well, no, this one is mirrored, though.
It's
Look,
the matched clear.
But if you make them, it's fine. All right. You know what? Matched clear. They're pathing to the same side.
Yeah. They will both be coming up towards the top side. We were saying that Shaden was ganking for Soul last time that Soul actually was playing this Greg, and he was on the Nocturne, and it will give Perry an opportunity to counteract any of the plays there.
Passing towards the top side, while these top laners are also trading aggressively against each other. Philip was getting the better of it right there. And also, Perry's a little slow on the clear based on the decision-making as to which one to start on first. So that means Shaden might have a short window to do something. Level 3 Nocturne is really not that big of a threat, so not expecting it. But also they can look mid, because now mid laners are having blinking health bars. A lot of trading from both lanes.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that because Nocturne clears notably faster, they are up top lane faster. And JJ, once again, trying to make a roam towards the mid lane after crashing a lot of minions to the bottom side and getting some vision down as well. Hiding in Fog of War, but this is a tough gank to actually go for because of how low Shochi is. You can actually turn around and just kill him. But both junglers now up on the top side of the map, potentially going to look for a gank, but neither of them actually going to commit for it just quite yet. And Perry, again, a little bit behind just on account of the champions that they are playing. Does have JJ support.
JJ is even roaming up to the top river right now. I believe she'll be spotted by Shaden. We should now know that there is a Nautilus right there. But yeah, JJ just hovering Perry to make sure they get this Scuttle Crab.
Remember when crowd control would break shields on Scuttle Crabs?
Yeah.
Nautilus would have been really good there, but I'm actually surprised at how far forward Soul is playing, knowing that JJ is around. Luckily for him, he is going to be rewarded for that, as on the opposite side of the map, King and Smoothie will be crashing a wave, but Manui might actually have been able to successfully freeze it.
Let's see, actually, if the observers could look bot lane. I don't believe Manui's reset yet. I was watching that while JJ was on the roam. Yeah, Manui has not reset yet. And it looks like from the mini-map, could be a freeze right there. King did get a reset and has the 2 long swords. They're trying to catch Perry in the river. Perry gets the scuttle, though, so double scuttle clear for Perry.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Definitely taking advantage of having JJ moving around the map a little bit more, because JJ does not like this lane matchup whatsoever, and Perry will be able to recover their own Raptors as well. Honestly, really good, really smart pathing from Cincinnati Fear, not giving any opportunities for Evil Geniuses to recover some of the issues that they were having based on the fact that Ryoma died to start the game.
Now we get to see Manui actually cash in on that kill, because remember, it was AD Carry that picked up that kill.
Yeah.
There's the Moon Quiver already locked in.
Moon Quiver.
And the boots. There we go.
A Moon Quiver.
I'd said noon.
You definitely sounded like you had too much of an accent coming through there.
But Minnesotan wants to just say
Minnesota.
the M's, I guess.
Yeah, but it is definitely a spot where we love seeing this coming out from Cincinnati Fear, and this is one of the big opportunities, right? Philip has this wave in a really good position after using the teleport, and so Soul will have to teleport back into lane in order to recover exactly what has happened here, but I'm honestly really fascinated to see that there has not been a whole lot of play around the bottom side of the map, because both supports have been moving out of the lane as much as they have.
Well then.
Good stun.
Okay, Shochi, I guess, was already committing to pressing the Pop Blossom as the Scout of the Week came out, and maybe it's still registered in either way. Ryoma just uses a single ability to knock back Shochi and prevent the engage with the ultimate.
Yeah. I mean, really good stuff from Ryoma, just not allowing any opportunities for Shochi to find that. But I also want to point out what is happening in this game, because both supports, because of the amount of time they've been spending out of the lane, are both significantly behind their AD carries in experience, and now Manui's level 6.
Yeah, he can still land a Q, though. Fortunately, it's against a Braum, so you don't do a lot of damage back. King does take a decent chunk there from Manui. The boots really help the Xayah position aggressively against this Aphelios, who now might just need to go for a committed reset. It's canceled. Shochi again as a minion. I think Ryoma's realizing this, though. Yeah, we're not just going to give it to him.
New NACL segment. Can you fact check XT? XT1, beat don't cast 0. All I'm saying, but Perry might get caught here. Does Perry go 1-0?
Line brush. And he just commands flash under Ryoma and gets flashed back out. Shochi, meanwhile,
punch him.
One more auto should get it, but they can't land it. And now Evil Geniuses, time for the punish. All right, well, Shochi will get one back as Ryoma walks back up, and a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, that is Ryoma to a fault, right? He is going to be in the fight using every last bit of his HP, and he will not back up when he needs to, but it gives him so many extra kills that he would not be able to grab. And so, Perry and Shochi, I mean, if Shochi had access to the ultimate, that is a fight they absolutely win, even in the 2v3. But again, that goes back to Ryoma with a fantastic Scout of the Week previously to make sure they don't go down. And Manui just able to stand here all alone as Philip going for the 1v1.
Ooh, all out onto Soul.
Nice!
Buffers the explosive cast.
One more.
And now flash up. Couple autos. One more should get him. The Q. It's traded back as the turret putting in overtime there. 1-for-1 in the top lane.
That should be a really good lane position for Philip as well. His wave will get there first and push it in, and Shaden loses vision.
Paranoia. Okay, now sees it. I think that's the clone. No, that is actually the real one. Not the best use of that first ult. Long cooldown on Nocturne ultimate right away.
Perry doesn't go for anything. I'm actually really surprised that they lost vision there. I think that's what the ward getting put down from around was like, make sure they have vision, but here's the fight.
They're jumping onto King yet again. Moonlight Vigil out. Dodged by Manui. There's not a lot of damage traded back from Evil Geniuses. Braum absorbed so much with that shield, but under half health. Gonna have to walk back a little bit here as the wave will crash, and the Herald started up now by Fear.
Yeah. It just feels as though Fear is a little bit faster to a lot of these plays.
Another hook lands. Has the Unbreakable yet again, though. Smoothie absorbing so much of that damage, but it's only a reduction. It's not making you invulnerable. So Smoothie is still getting chunked out.
Yeah. One more of those could be the death of Smoothie, but unlikely to give that opportunity over as Evil Genius is falling slightly behind across the map, right? It is still an opportunity for them to come back, and I think the biggest issue is actually the fact that Shaden's first ultimate ends up not doing a whole lot. That will give Fear more of an opportunity to try and play a bit more aggressively. And with the Dragon already spawning, there are opportunities for Fear to be there first. They have some very strong engage tools, especially once JJ hits level 6.
Gotta keep our eyes on those. The ultimate will be coming off cooldown in about 20 seconds time. Will Fear go for the Dragon before it's up? They have Shochi here as a minion. This time it was not spotted by Ryoma, but Smoothie is there with the Unbreakable to try and absorb as much damage as possible and will prevent Ryoma from dying. But ooh, that was a lot of chunk damage right ahead of an objective fight.
Big chunk, an unfortunate miss from the Q coming out from JJ as he looks for Smoothie, catches this one.
Okay, has the Unbreakable yet again, but does not do enough. Now Shaden's in there as Ryoma's back up, and there's that burst I was talking about in Pick Ban. Nocturne plus Syndra is a terrifying combo, and they show us just why Parry's picked off.
Yeah, and now Philip going for another potential 1v1, doesn't catch Soul there, but just as you were talking about, right, so much crowd control coming through, and now Philip so close to going all out.
Needs a better angle for it. It's actually losing a lot in these trades. Grasp of the Undying plus the Gragas W is really tough for the K'Sante to deal with if you're trying to just all-in him.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of 1v1s go in favor of Gragas for having fancy feet. I think Zamudo was the one who had some of the most impressive ones. But I do want to go back to that combo like you were saying, right? Shaden and Ryoma working together with enough crowd control to stun Parry and prevent him from even throwing out the ultimate. And so once you find yourself in these kinds of positions, you suddenly have way more power as Shaden does go for the correct item that you do on this character.
Ooh, all out under the turret, pulling Soul back. Explosive Cask available, and just body slams to safety. So Philip actually doesn't find too much for that.
No, but it does create a lot of questions, and Soul is able to just walk away. We did see Philip with a couple of fancy things before, right? With the unstoppable blocking the explosive cast, but as we set up for another fight, Parry and Shochi do have their ultimates, and Shade and Ryoma do not.
Shochi's spotted on the approach. Evil Geniuses are controlling the river for now. JJ says, what control do you really have? We're just going to engage on a King who walked up into Nautilus hook range, and Parry will claim that kill. Now Smoothie in trouble, will not get to safety. Shaden has to flash to escape, and a double kill to Parry.
You gotta ask some question marks with that ping as Shochi gonna take a lot of damage, but oh boy, they're still going. Ryoma can kill this.
Trades back. Ryoma has unleashed power. Needs to get in range. One more ball should have it. There it is! Ryoma gets the kill. Now they turn on to JJ. Shaden used flash, but did not use the ult before. Okay. Interesting little spectator there, as JJ does actually get to safety with the dredge line, but Dragon is secured for Fear.
Yeah, I mean, really good stuff coming out from the side of Fear, but you gotta, again, ask question marks of King in that spot, just walking up into a spot where he knows Nautilus is there. You know you're setting up for the Dragon. And then, I mean, Shochi, that was the exact way that we saw APA get cut over and over again in Spring. Going from the Dragon back into the mid lane, just taking a ton of damage over the wall, and Ryoma not letting him get away with that.
Ryoma is able to punish and at least get something back for the team. In a game that felt like it was kind of slipping away, King dying there was a big deal. Yeah. Still down a completed item from Minui. Who had that first blood, has not died since. And as the coal completely stacked, King is very far delayed from hitting any kind of power spike here. So it really is kind of up to Ryoma, who, similar, doesn't have an item completed, but at least is stacking up some more gold in his pocket.
And is building up those Cinderplex, right? This is a carry combination from Ryoma and King that does scale very well into this game. So we will see how well they are able to play throughout a lot of the later team fights, because if they can kite together, it is so easy for them to deal with Philip, to deal with Parry, and anything else that will be diving in, unless they make similar mistakes to what they did before. And now, looking for Shade.
He's clearing his own romp, but here comes Parry. JJ around the corner, spell shield is in. They do not commit the depth charge. They don't have vision on anybody else other than Ryoma, who had a short path to join in, so they don't want a hard commit.
At least they do get the Gromp, though, as Manui will be wailing away on the structure. This game is just so non-committal, right? We have been seeing a couple of opportunities for Evil Geniuses to be aggressive, but we have seen Shaden go for 2 ultimates that didn't do anything. But I also am very confident that this is the kind of game where Shaden tends to excel. You have a couple of early kills and they just go.
Snap committal onto Ryoma, and the pop blossom onto 3. How did that even hit Ryoma? Felt way out of range, but hey, maybe they overcommitted. The rest of Evil Geniuses actually pounced back and claimed 3. They didn't lose anybody, just a bunch of flashes.
You ask how it hit Ryoma? Well, the answer is it didn't. That was the depth charge that knocked him up, not the ultimate from Shochi. That could have been the difference because Ryoma able to fire back immediately is massive in that last fight. And on the side lanes, Manui and Philip not able to find anything. This is just going to be a bunch of camps going over towards Shane. But take a look at the goal. It is less than 1,000 lead here for Evil Geniuses. This game is still completely undecided as the mid lane turret finally gets picked up for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, the big thing, even with all the kills going to EG there, is that Manui got the bottom turret. Big for King and Evil Geniuses to answer in mid turret. Now they can actually push waves, look to control the access point to the jungle. But let's take another look at this committal.
Yeah, it looks kind of good, right? As they get a lot of crowd control down here onto Ryoma, but as Shochi flashes in, you see, it doesn't do any damage to Ryoma. Yeah. It's just the depth charge that picks them up, and that means they are able to just continue firing away. And the other big part, right? King throws in the ultimate, gets a bunch of damage down. Now Fear are the ones starting up the Rift Herald with some crucial missing ultimates.
They don't have depth charge, they don't have Pop Blossom. Soul caught out from the rest of the team right now, but now everyone's joining in, and they got onto Parry. Rampage for Ryoma, and Evil Geniuses push Fear off of the Herald and will claim it for themselves.
And this is definitely a game where it's starting to look as though Ryoma in particular is starting to feel themselves as Shochi a little too close.
Gotta be careful here. Paranoia used, plus the Winter's Bite, he's down. That's another kill over for Evil Geniuses.
Now, do you know what it's like when Shochi starts falling behind for the comms? You were saying that he is a very loud player when he starts getting ahead.
I'm not sure about the comms when they are behind, but I cannot imagine it is the same vibes. I would assume, you know, maybe a little less pop-off until they turn the play back around. If they find some big play, that could be the momentum they need. But as of right now, this is the moments where we start to question who's the leader on Fear, who's that big voice when they don't have somebody like Trevor to lead them, when they don't have somebody like Faisal to pull a game out of a winning position into a winning position. Somebody's got to step up.
Yeah, it's a very tough spot from here, right? You don't have a composition that is scaling quite as well. Shochi has had a couple of ultimates that have missed by just millimeters in order to try and go for some of these big fights. And Evil Geniuses, they now have Ryoma up 5 waves at least, and Philip takes him deep.
All out from Philip. Jumping onto Soul, has the flash available, has Explosive Cask. Should not go down here.
Oops.
Oh, but Philip takes a blast cone, so Soul's got to figure out a way out of this one. Body slams in, still has a flash, hasn't used it yet. Explosive Cast trying to get him to safety. Parry's on top of him, though. He will just go down. 3 members commit to the kill.
And it's going to be a dragon on the far side of the map. And Evil Geniuses, even with that kill going down, do have a gold lead. So much of it is coming off of Tommy Ryoma Lee, who has just been able to farm these waves pretty much uncontested. Every single time that Evil Geniuses has a fight where Ryoma gets a kill, it's also a fight where Shochi is not getting any farm here in the mid lane. That's why you see such a large difference there. But it's also worth noting that a lot of the farm that would normally be going over to 80 carries is being given to Ryoma here, right? Being down 40 CS himself to Minui over in the side lane as they are just having opportunities to farm completely uncontested.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but perhaps we're seeing why the NACL was not prioritizing game 1 and instead they went for the LeBlanc. Not working out for them yet. Manui taking a lot of damage here from Soul for the recall. Will land the root.
Shaden's around.
That's the flash now. Paranoia in, and there's no ult left on Manui, but he's got the flash. He's out of there. Now Shaden's in a lot of trouble. Lands a Fear on a parry, and with Smoothie there, will make it out himself, but Soul goes down yet again.
Yeah, good attack. Honestly, remarkable to me that Manui was able to survive that. It looked like there should have been enough damage there from Shane, but getting out just barely. And now Philip on the far side of the map needs to be careful that he's not going down as the play.
He's quite tanky. As the Merc treads, so Ryoma theoretically won't have enough damage to kill, but you know, what about King? What if both carries go on to Philip?
How do they
He's
stop
trying to
him?
run away, has the flash, so will he use it? There it is. Gets to safety.
Yeah, I even wonder if the flash was needed, right? You do have access to dash one of your minions as they do come closer. Now Philip going right back around, asking who really is the hunted here. Fear is able to fire in this game, and Minui.
For the recall, exhaust in. Smoothie wanted it, but
Nice.
the team into a bad spot. 2 kills picked up
Philip
for
in the bot
Fear.
lane.
Smoothie and King go down. Philip 1v1s Ryoma. Oh, and the game just got turned on his head. Fear are right back in it.
Dude, I want to see the gold graph for this game because it is up and down and up and down and trading back and forth. But this might be the part of the game that just breaks it open for Fear, because not only do they get all those kills, but look at the amount of structures they also picked up off of it. They got multiple turrets here in the mid lane. They are in a commanding position around this bottom side of the map, and they're taking away so many camps here from Shade. It's not just the kills that they are getting, and now they're looking for Philip.
Paranoia onto Philip. Does not have the all-out, does not have the flash, but he does have the backup of his team. Perry jumps in onto Shade and locking down this Nocturne, unkilled yet, but that will not continue as Perry's on top of him, lands the shutdown, the Minui flank on Xayah. Ryoma has teleported deep in enemy territory. Smoothie should go down. King's trading a lot of damage back. Can Ryoma get in there as well? Shut down for King as Minui falls, but Fear look to escape now. Philip cannot make it back with the rest of the team. EG,
Ultimately,
trade 3, make it 2 for 2.
2 for 2 across the board in an incredibly confused fight. Honestly, I feel like that typifies so much of this game. There's a lot of spots where fights just are seemingly erupting out of nowhere, as both teams are looking super opportunistically about the game. And I feel like that has been something that has been true of both these squads and is really coming to full fruition here. Neither of these teams have been really looking for opportunities to make these long-term plans, instead pouncing whenever they think there is a small opportunity. And here, this is just a spot where Evil Geniuses, they see Philip what appears to be all on their own, but there are people right around the corner. And it takes everybody coming in and a very aggressive flank coming in from Minui in order to make this even an equal position, right? Because as Minui comes in, they get counter-flanked by King. A ton of damage getting picked up by the Oceanic AD carry, and he's able to do enough damage to pick up members on this side of the map. But even after that, right, like, what are their battle lines? Who's going to where? It's everybody just like playing an ARAM at this point. You never know where anybody's going to be coming from.
So also doing a lot of damage as AP Gragas there. Did about half of Minui's health bar in one. Wait, that's not even AP Gragas. What?
Yeah, no, it's not. JJ goes in.
All right, we're back to live though. KJ looking for another engage. There's the Pop Blossom onto 2. King yet again locked down. And the bot lane's out for EG. 2 plays in a row.
And the Nico coming up absolutely massive. The huge AoE stun creating so much pressure. Look at Shochi moving around as his control ward. It's a good thing nobody sees that, because it is definitely a little bit sus as they look for the hook on Ryoma.
JJ's just trying to push him back. Bell Shield was there. Shochi's clone is taken down, but Baron secured for Fear. And they'll even push Shaden out of his own jungle here. The gold graph in this game's got to be crazy, and Fear are currently riding it high with a 4,500 lead.
Dude, it's like watching an LPL game, honestly, as Perry might be getting caught, but it's not over.
I guess not. Okay, now it is, right?
See? That's exactly what we're saying, right? Ryoma and Shaden looking opportunistically. It's like, oh, is this guy an inter? Catch him, catch him. Oh, wait, no, he has so many friends. He's totally fine. It was totally legal, officer. I'm sorry. But now they're starting to look at the next dragons we see. Look at that. Up and down and up and down. And there's so many mountains and valleys in this one. But Evil Geniuses should be able to pick up this dragon. And the question will be, how much can Evil Geniuses defend off the push of Cincinnati Fear? If they can slow down this game, Ryoma and King will be doing too much damage for Fear to deal with.
I mean, that's up to Fear, though. I don't know if EG are in a position where they can say, oh, we are slowing the game down. You got to stop a Baron push now at 23 minutes into the game. So it's really going to be the onus on Fear. How do they want to approach? I'm not super happy with their approach right now because they have 4 grouped up mid. They're not crashing it at the same time as the top turret, which Perry is the only one on right now. But they will still have enough of a wave to most likely get this outer top turret.
Yeah, it is definitely an unusual spot, but you know that Evil Geniuses, because they have a Nocturne, can engage at the drop of a hat. And as they start coming into this, you have to be very, very careful about how you approach any of these fights, because if you are ever in the wrong spot, it is 100% a way for Evil Geniuses to come back into the fight. And that's part of why we see Philip the only one, because he's not as susceptible to any attacks. But this is a lot of wave clear coming through for Evil Geniuses. Ryoma does have the tools to stop a lot of these in their tracks.
They're hard coming up here. Explosive cast engage from Soul. Massive for Evil Geniuses top laner. It is traded right back in, but Soul's back onto Manui. As the ultimate, Ryoma flashes in, a flash response. Now comes Perry and Philip joining in on the action, and Fear are routing Evil Geniuses. Ryoma, the only member remaining alive, and there's not much that he can do. He's taken out as well. A 1-for-5 ace for Fear, and with a Baron buff. Is that? No, there's no shot. That's the game.
Shouldn't end here.
15.
But still, that's a ton of pressure. This is probably 2 inhibitors getting picked up for Cincinnati Fear, and the fight looked pretty decent to start, right? They were able to knock back Shochi into the team and kill him before he even had the ultimate go off. And now, as Manui goes towards the mid lane, they get the 1 inhibitor. They're going to be taking down the top lane 1 as well, because Shaden doesn't have the tools to get in on this fight. But Cincinnati Fear, right, we were talking about the amount of damage Manui could do, how effectively Shochi had been playing some of these team fights, but this one was really all about the fact that Perry, this guy's been quietly racking up kills. 10, 4, and 5 now on the Vi, is able to create enough chaos that there weren't enough people hitting Manui at the same time. And as we take a look at this one, like, it looks good, right? They get Shochi in on the rest of the team. They kill him before his ultimate even goes off, but there's a lot of tools, and Shaden, the only one trying to deal with the AD carry. He goes down initially, and then Soul takes his turn, but he doesn't have the damage to do it all by himself, and as Ryoma blasts you to the wrong side of the fight, look at what's happening to your backline. Suddenly, King is gone. He needs to be alive to deal with all of these big tanks, and they were not able to survive the onslaught that Perry's able to put on by himself.
Feels a little bit like main character syndrome. Everybody feeling like they have to be the one to do the thing. Soul starts it off, it looks good.
Not everybody can be Julie.
Shaden goes a little early because Ryoma had just used a full rotation of Syndra spells, but now we're back to live. Perry over the wall here, doing a lot of damage, but King's just out. The explosive cast tries to keep him alive. He does flash to safety. He lives. That is incredible that King survived that. Now the re-engage.
Oh, Manui clears.
They make it out of there. Soul's down. Phillips jumping in, and Fear are doing it. They got game 1. They were the underdogs coming in. We thought maybe Evil Geniuses bounce back, but Fear are on the precipice of continuing their 100% win rate against Evil Geniuses on the year. Quick work of them in spring, and despite being underdogs here, they look to do it again. Their engage comes through. Nice scatter leak from Ryoma onto all 5 members. That might actually be enough. Unleash power. Oh, that just tickles Phil. That actually did nothing. Shaden still wants more, though. Inui on a rampage will take him down. Ryoma, untouched. Has to be the carry. They do hold the line. Evil Geniuses will not fall yet.
Wow, and as they continue to move forward, the backing Shochi clone doesn't actually catch anybody by surprise, but here's a teleport to Manui.
Oh, teleport. Manui does not have Feather Storm or anything, so should just go down here. Scatter the weak stun lands. Philip is in there, but Ryoma should have the damage. Manui's still alive. How is Manui still alive? Stopwatch used. Re-engage from Perry. Philip trades his life for his carry. Manui will survive through this. Can Shochi do anything else on the turn now? Oh, he might just go down with a double kill. And Manui's back in. There's not a lot of threats. Not enough damage from Soul, and a triple kill to Shochi. Oh, what a turn from Fear.
I love that. They start moving forward. They get almost to me. I was like, wait, where's Shaden? Okay, he's got the ultimate. We know we can't walk up that close, but still, so many of these different fights. I think that's perfectly it, right? A lot of main character syndrome as everybody in this game feels as though they need to be making the difference. But the people who have been so far, Manui constantly hitting in all these fights, Perry quietly being absolutely massive. And of course, Shochi, while the early couple of ultimates didn't do jack, we have been seeing Shochi just waking up so heavily in so many of these upcoming fights, and now Evil Geniuses have one more chance to try and go for a fight around this Baron, but only Ryoma has the teleport, and they won't be able to get here in time.
Shochi is putting in an insane amount of work considering the position he found himself in after laning phase. He was down so heavily to Ryoma, but is coming back with the help of his team. Manui's just not dying, man. He's getting back that reputation from spring where he just survived everything thrown at him. We were so hyped for how well Manui performed last split. And in the first week, we were like, that's not the Manui that we were hoping for. This is the Manui that we thought might have been coming into Spring Split. But this time around, he is turning that narrative back on its head and saying, no, I still got it.
Yeah, he's also even got the Mod Memortius here as well to make sure that Syndra will not be able to take him down. He is so difficult to kill because Shaden will not be able to stick to the character. Smoothie will not help a whole lot, and the magic damage dealers are not in a position to get to it. This should be a game where Manui should clear from this position, and it looks like Cincy Fear and Matt probably looking pretty good in the predictions. They might be able to take this one down as well. 10,000 gold in the lead. 2 inhibitors already down. Perry moving towards the top side to try and apply the Baron buff.
Super minions are still pushing on the top wave, not in the mid wave. That inhibitor will be spawning shortly. But Fear, if they can force EG to answer the Super's top, then they can take the bottom turret, take the bottom inhibitor. EG might just need a hard commit to the play down here. Shaden turns the lights off, turns attention now on to Perry. Jumps in on top of him. King's looking to get some damage down, but they can't quite commit. The team wasn't ready for that play. Now the hook lands here. Is that Ryoma? In a lot of trouble, but now they're diving onto King, going past everybody else. Fear have none, and they jump onto Evil Geniuses, claiming the base, claiming the fight, and claiming game number 2. Continuing the tradition, continuing the win streak, not giving EG a single game in this matchup head-to-head. You can change some of the players, but the narrative remains as they will chase the final member of Evil Geniuses. Give him the kill, take down Smoothie. Oh, they can't get him. Smoothie's gonna live. I think the minions will end first, but either way, Fear are happy. They will sweep the game.
Oh man, 6-0 for Cincinnati Fear now over Evil Geniuses in some of the most chaotic games. Honestly, Steve, I was not expecting today to deliver in the way that it did, but Cincinnati Fear, they were absolutely crazy games back and forth as everybody was looking for the opportunity to be the main character, but in the end, it is Cincinnati Fear. You gotta fear the Reaper, man. These guys are still in it.
This might just be my favorite day of the split so far. And it's going to be hard to beat it. We had incredible games, and we even had this final series to close it out. Fear take the 2-0 over a heavy-hitting opponent, but EG a little bit lower in the standings than they were hoping to be as one of the potential teams in that conversation for top of the standings. So, a lot of questions. Going into this next day. But with that said, we're going to send it to a short break before Beatdown comes back for our Verizon post-game interview with Perry, the jungler. So we'll see you there.
Welcome back, everyone, to the last Verizon post-game interview for the day. We have Perry from Cincinnati Fear. Perry, first of all, congratulations, 2-0, stomping EGC. Let's all be real about the situation here. Got to be a good feeling, especially considering how things were going the last couple of weeks. And that's kind of my first question, really. Philip and JJ, 2 new players and 2 key roles for you guys switching up from Spring. What's it been like getting them kind of on the same page as everyone else?
You know, I think any new roster, it's going to take some time to like shift together and just become a team. But I think really losing Faisal, I'm happy to see him go. I'm happy to see him succeed. I think Faisal is just like a very key part of the team. I don't know. I think a big thing though, no matter what, to mention is like we're not together in a house anymore. Yeah. And throughout the entire spring split, if something went wrong, we were able to talk about it in person. Yeah. Things were able to go down. Now we're all online. You know, the news with NACL, things are feeling a little worse. But overall, I think we're getting to a point where now we're able to compete. Tomorrow's match is going to be just as good as today's match. It just took some time to ramp up, but I think we're in a good shape now. So.
Yeah, so you find it less personable now that you guys are playing online separately and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Like the power of being in person is like unbelievable. So like all the academy teams are able to play and talk to each other, see each other face to face. It's like they have a lot more power when it comes to like learning, improving, just being a team. It's very strong to be in person. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, congrats to you. You just 2-0'd a team who had that very same advantage, so it's got to feel pretty good. And my next question, game 2, even though you guys did win it out in the end, things were looking tough for a little bit. You guys were starting to fall behind. What were comms like? Were you guys confident you could bring it back, or what was the situation?
With how that draft went, I think all of us were like pretty sure no matter what went down, if we kept playing, didn't tilt, didn't get triggered, we'd win. So the comms were like, it's all okay, guys. It's okay. We fucked up. It's okay. Like, go next play. And eventually, like, we found some opportunity. So.
Nice. Respect. I mean, it's good that you guys are able to keep that mental going and things like that. And I'm getting a lot of asks, and this is something we mentioned before going live. Your ID used to be Ghostly Cat. I mean, we can kind of guess, considering the background, where that came from, but talk to us about it.
So my whole life I've had cats, and when I was first climbing, I hit maybe Diamond. I wanted to have cat in my name. So I started off with Charizard's cat, because I like Charizard. Charizard's my favorite Pokemon. But people read it as like Charizard Scat, so I had to change my name. Like, I had to change my name.
Yeah, not real.
Ghostly Cat was the next variation, and I kind of stuck with it. And then some of my friends kind of like joked about it, so I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna be Perry then.
Man,
I'm just gonna be Perry.
I like Ghostly Cat. That's too bad, but I mean, fair enough, Perry. It's your name. It's really easy to remember and things like that, so it makes a lot of sense to go for that change. And talking about that change, the thing that's been pretty exciting for me, and I think a lot of us who watch you, is that since your second place finish last year at Proving Grounds with Dignitas Academy, you made that commitment. You said it verbally to us as well, that you're trying to be more of that carry player. You're trying to not just be led by the hand, as I think you may have said. So how do you feel like you're achieving those goals at this point? You had a great spring, and you're really ramping up in summer, but where do you feel you're at?
I think I'm making a good progression no matter what. I think at the end of the day, the long run improvement, if I like give myself a graph, I'm going up. I'm slowly climbing. I think this past like 2 weeks at the start of the sprint has been like I've kind of slumped a little bit, but I'm remembering what it feels like to improve, to just get better. It's like I'm remembering why I'm here playing League of Legends. I enjoy this game. I enjoy getting better. And just all of that is like helping me remember, like, I want to be the carry player. I want to be the shot caller. I want to be the leader. All of that's like coming back to me now, and I think I kind of lost that for the start of the split. It's coming back, and I think we're ready to just like keep going up from here.
I love that. I want to explore that a little more. So you're saying, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you hungry? Because it clearly sounds like you still are, and you still have that fire going.
I mean, just knowing, like, matches like today, like these matches can happen. I think last split we were so competitive against all the teams, all the academy teams.
Right.
I mean, we went to 5 games against FlyQuest and Team Liquid. We almost beat Team Liquid last split. Just these matches, these competitive games, they're motivating to play. And this last week of games, like, they weren't fun. We kind of just played bad and got stomped. So that keeps me going. Like, I want to be able to compete. I want to play better. And I think, like, really, like, knowing that it's all gonna be okay with the NACL news, it sucks, but it's all gonna be okay at the end of the day. Like, I think it helps me remember, like, why I'm here. I want to compete. So
I love that. Positivity and the thrill of competition. Thank you so much, Perry. We will continue to watch your career with interest. And, of course, I wish you luck in your future matches. That's it for Perry, jungler for Cincinnati Fear. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I'm going to bring back Josh and Steve to kind of wrap up the day. I mean,
bye, Perry.
Bye, Perry. Dude, I love that. I'm going to bring back Josh, period.
I said Josh and Steve.
I know, but you paused. You gave me hope.
I did, because I had this like thought in my mind.
Talk about it. What's going on there?
I have an explanation. I had this thought in my mind where it's like, if I call one of you by name, I gotta call the other by name. And I didn't really think when I said Josh. Like, did I say Josh or Joshi? Oh, I said Josh. Okay, I'm gonna say Steve.
my name. Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to put it that way too, you're not as memorable.
I am Steve. And there are many other Steves.
Okay. With that out of the way, nice little back and forth banter. We got to check out the standings just to see how things have shifted now that we're at the end of our day 2 here. And well, guys, what stands out to you?
Wow. Well, I guess we're separating TLC from the pack.
I made a meme the other day as a joke, kind of. I mean, I think TLC are the best performing team, but it was literally TLC S tier, and then there was a I don't know whatever tier for the rest of the teams. I don't think that's a joke anymore.
TLC have been playing super, super well so far in this split, and it's likely to continue ballooning them for a while until we start getting the rematches against some of the other teams we were expecting to be up in that tier, in especially Disguised and FlyQuest Challengers. But I think the interesting thing is we have been getting a lot more drawn series than I think a lot of people were expecting, because you notice that between 2nd and 10th is only a 3-game difference.
And look, DSG split their series against AoE, because that
all
was the
they
other
do, I
series
think.
today, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So, yeah, wow, crazy. AoE is really stepping up.
They are. I mean, they're a team that was, I think I'm really interested, especially with the return of Will and the fact that they still seem to play confidently. And interestingly, we look at the rest of the board too. There is no one team that is like just clearly getting dumped on, last place, one and X amount of losses. What am I saying? Point is, though, we still have one more day of games coming up. Day 3 of week 2 will be coming tomorrow. We're going to close our show today until that happens. Of course, we're going to get to my favorite part of being the flex, but I'm going to leave it to you, Kangas and Joshi. You know what it says.
Where we're going to...
It says thank the flex.
What? It says... thank... No, it doesn't. It just says thanks for watching.
Oh, well, they changed the slide. Whatever, I'll do it. Thank you, Beatdown.
Shout out to
We're going to be
Moofy,
rating...
for making the emotes, and also for being the one that we're about to go raid. Woo!
That's right. Woo! Shout out Moofy. And, of course, subscribe if you want to get those emotes, if you want to put money directly into the players' and teams' pockets. We'll be back with more NACL action tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Let's see you soon.